Greetings everyone, it's House here. Back, refreshed and relaxed from some time away dealing with family obligations. It's nice to take a step away sometimes, and it seems that the devs of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game agree because they're doing everything in their power to encourage me to step away from the game. Recently, Gunn held another one of their community update streams that I wanted to discuss. There's a lot to sink our teeth into, so without further ado, let's go ahead and tune in. As always, please feel free to subscribe for future updates and like the video if you would like to, as it helps our twisted little science experiment of a channel grow. Thank you. The gang from Gunn sat down with us to give us some updates on things that we have been waiting on for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. There are a few things to be excited for, but a lot of what I want to hit on is unfortunately negative. Yeah, I know. Kind of a trend recently. We have some things to look forward to, like a bunch of fixes and changes, map variants, and a new Leatherface skin, but it's hard to be excited for these things and optimistic for what else is in store for us given the tone of the rest of the information we received. I am reminded of that old meme sign at some protest that said, "Our expectations were low for you, but holy fuck." This is another downer of an update, unfortunately. And I hate that that's the case because I feel like I've been parroting the same concerns and issues that you guys seem to have over and over again, repeating the same stuff in every video. We keep bringing this up and talking about it because it's important to us, but I never want it to feel like that's all I do with this channel or this content. And unfortunately, it's starting to feel like that's what we do. It's just repetitive. That said, I am going to call stuff out when I see it. And when it's clear that the devs don't care about community sentiment, I don't feel so bad about giving my 2 cents. So without further ado, let's just talk about it. We got a lot of changes on the horizon, some tweaks to the game. In theory, they're good, but we'll discuss that a little bit more later. A lot of the information we received is about Rush Week. There are some changes coming for balance, such as the attic escape pole location being switched up, and Johnny now being a 3-hit to kill on the co-eds instead of 2-hit, as well as some bug fixes that will hopefully work as intended, and not accidentally make this game mode or the main game mode worse, as it unfortunately has in the past. Whenever there's a list of changes, everybody gets excited about these twists and updates and fixes, but I can't anymore because unfortunately, when we get updates, usually it reverts the build of the game to a previous one, undoing fixes that we had in place, or it creates some new bugs that give us more issues. With the introduction of Rush Week, it unfortunately affects the main game, and vice versa I'm sure will be true. Fixes in the main game may negatively affect Rush Week. We're now dealing with a 2-headed monster here. So yeah, in theory, if those fixes and changes come and they don't screw anything else up, it's nice. It's nice to be getting changes and steps in the right direction in terms of fixes. But this is also coming way too late and at too high of a cost, in my opinion. We had to wait for the October patch to get these changes, which again may or may not work based on past experience. But at this point, who is still playing Rush Week? Who is still playing that game mode? It lost its luster for me very, very quickly because there's nothing to work towards, no real variety. Every match kind of felt the same. Maybe I'm in the minority there, but I feel like a lot of people have stepped away from the game mode. Next up in the shit show circus, the thing that rustled a lot of people's feathers with this update, we received confirmation of what I was afraid of. The rights to the movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 were too difficult to acquire, and thus our boy Chop Top will not be arriving in the game. This is sad because I know a lot of people love the character, but I was kind of afraid that this would be the case. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 has always been in a weird place, legally, rights-wise. It's been kind of neglected, and I do find that that movie is difficult to find or acquire, even to this day. The only reason, personally, I have a copy of this movie is because a friend made a rip for me in high school. And I know the rights issues have held up planned re-releases for the film multiple times. It very much reminds me of the rights issues with the Friday the 13th franchise and the character Jason, if you're familiar with that, and if you're a fan of Gunn, you're very familiar with that, unfortunately. Sometimes the greatest evil force is not a backwoods killer or a cannibal redneck, but instead copyright law. And breaking that curse can unfortunately take a very long time and a lot of effort. I personally do not think we will ever see Chop Top or any Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 content in this game, but we may get some references to other films if this game survives. Also, it has been confirmed that Bill Moseley, the actor who played Chop Top, has visited with the devs. Some leaked lines of dialogue have also been floating around online, which I think were just them getting ready in case they secured the rights to Chop Top, but they would be damn fools if they didn't get Moseley to do something for the game. He is a horror legend, and having him lend his talents to another original character would be a no-brainer in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying make off-brand Chop Top character, like call it Top Chop or something like that, who is legally distinct enough to not get sued. You don't want to go that route. If I was a betting man, I bet they have another character who is similar but has his own shtick and feel, something that Bill can really sink his acting chops into and give a great performance on. And I bet if we look in the bio for this character, we get a line about how he's the long-lost third brother of Nubbins, tying the character in, but mostly just being a wink and a nod to the fans. Or maybe they do something different and throw us a complete curveball and let Bill Moseley voice a victim in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre universe for once. That would be cool too. So yeah, unfortunately I kind of did expect this, but I do think we end up seeing Bill in the game in some capacity going forward if it survives. Last but not least, let's talk about the biggest thing that really made me frustrated with this update. In a previous video I had mentioned that we had not heard any news or updates about the increase in the level cap beyond level 99 since the beginning of 2024. And I couldn't understand why it would take that long to figure out a path forward on that and set up some rewards for leveling beyond that point if that's what they wanted to do, as they told us they did. Well, it turns out the reason we didn't hear anything about this whole concept and feature is because it had been scrapped. There will be no level cap increase, no rewards for leveling your account from 1 to 99 beside the blackout skins that are in the game right now. They claim that they're going to add blackout skins for the characters that don't currently have them, but that remains to be seen. Also, we're not getting an in-game currency anymore, it looks like, so I'm not exactly sure what they think the incentive is to keep playing the game after you've reached max level or spent enough time in it. I understand some people want to play for fun, but based on the player numbers and how long it takes me into a game, I'm guessing it's not too many that see it that way. What the fuck? Like, this seems like such an easy win, in my opinion. Even if you don't add things to unlock beyond level 99, we as gamers have been trained by every game for decades now to get a little dopamine rush when the pixelated number goes up. Why not just take the easy win and add it to the game? Why not just give people the opportunity to grind for the highest possible level in this game? It seems like such a waste to not add it. And worst of all, they sat on the news that it's not coming for the better part of a year without saying anything to us. And before you get started, Gunn, don't talk to me about how it's an issue of allocating resources. We have the resources to make an entire new game mode in Rush Week, but not to change the code to increase the level cap, not even infinitely, like even just level 200 or something like that for shits and giggles, just so we have something to do if we're already max level. Come on, man. It is becoming more and more clear to me with every community update that there is a very large disconnect with how you see the game and how your community experiences it. As a content creator for this game, it's sad because I feel like all I do is complain. But as someone who genuinely loved the game that you built, it makes me feel even worse because it's clear that you don't care about the same things I do. You would rather focus on purchasable cosmetics than give me a reason to play in the first place. Your most loyal fans, people who are on your side, are asking directly for something, and you can't be bothered to help out. But be sure to grab the Hands and Cook matching leopard print thong set for $4.99 or some shit. Not that you have a reason to log into the game and play it wearing any skin you purchase anyways, but might as well just spend your money. Sure. I've seen some people say that these recent events have felt like Gun slowly shuttering the game over the course of months, still trickling stuff out for us to bleed any extra cash out of us that they can collect on the way out the door before they move on to their next project. I don't normally like to entertain those kind of extreme doomer conspiracies on this game, but damn, it is really starting to look bleak, and I can't help but wonder if there is some merit to that theory. Like I said, I hate being a bitching Bobby about this game every time I talk about it. I hate that I have to temper my expectations for stuff, and definitely hate that even when I do temper them, I'm still let down somehow. I started making content on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game because I love horror films, and this was one of the first games that made me feel like I was playing in a horror film and I could experience that on demand. I saw something in this game that I loved, and when my friends would say they didn't see it, I didn't necessarily mind, because I loved that first movie in this franchise when I saw it back in high school, and people didn't get that either, but that didn't really matter to me. I saw something special in that movie that resonated, just like I saw something special in this game. It's just a shame that the people behind it have to make me question my love for their product every chance that they get. With these videos, I normally do kind of an outline with talking points that I want to cover, and this last one just says, this shit sucks, man. And it's true. I don't like getting on here and just feeling like every time there's an update for the game, I just am gonna sit and complain. And I'm sure you guys don't like to hear it. The only videos I see on YouTube anymore for this game are talking about how it's falling apart, talking about how it's inevitable that it's going to close at some point here in the near future, and how every change that's being made is controversial and pushing fans away. It's to the point where the footage you're seeing is just leftover footage I had from a scrapped video back when Bride Sissy came out. I load up the game and wait in queue, and the queue times are getting longer every time I try to play. And then I get into a match and it bugs out, or I don't even get into a lobby before I just get distracted by other things going on. It just sucks, man. It really does. And I'm tired of feeling like all I do is complain, and I'm tired of feeling burnt out. I'm still gonna cover stuff going on in this game because I do love it, and I wanna hope that things change for the better. I wanna be wrong with these updates. I wanna be wrong with my concerns, but I guess that remains to be seen. I'll have to take some time to kind of plan out what else I wanna be doing with the channel. And of course, if you have anything you wanna see, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I'm open to whatever you guys are feeling. I just wanna make some content that you guys enjoy. I wanna make some stuff that's fun for me to make and it gets me excited. And unfortunately, if TCM isn't going to be doing that, then we're going to have to start looking elsewhere for opportunities to make stuff that we enjoy. But that's all for me today. I'm going to go think about my life, think about my choices. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a good rest of your day, a good night, and we'll see you next time, friends.